Hi, I'm Andrew Strank with Strategic Planning Concepts International out of Tustin, California, and we'd like to give you a case study for a project that we think is indicative of the direction that retail is evolving towards. This project is known as Alameda Otay, and it can be found in Tijuana, Mexico. From the perspective of 2025, the Alameda Otay project may not look particularly unusual. It's an open-air, pedestrian-oriented town center, has a commercial retail core, mostly restaurants, surrounded by multifamily residential high-rise towers, a medical arts building of about 8,700 square meters, with a rooftop garden and 2 hotels. The total project is about 91,000 square meters. The commercial retail component is a little over 37,000 square meters. Back in 2015, when planning began for this project, the situation in Tijuana was a lot different. There was a lot less high-rise at the time, and there was very little mixed-use development going on. So the situation was very, very different than it is today. So this project could have gone in any one of many different directions. The developer, Loma Desarrollos of Monterey, was faced with a property of about 90,000 square meters in total. It was the site of an existing big box discount warehouse club, Soriana's City Club, which was really squarely in the middle of the property and made it really difficult to use the rest of the property given the location of the City Club. To the south and the west, there was already an existing regional fashion mall known as Central Comercial Otay. So this wouldn't look like necessarily a great opportunity. So what was the role of strategy here? Because clearly location by itself was not going to be enough. The neighbor, Central Comercial Otay, was and actually today still remains a pretty sad case study. Since its inception in the very early 1990s, it's been one of the larger shopping centers in Tijuana. It's on the southwestern corner of a multi-level interchange. It was a glorieta originally that connects 4 major streets, the Carretera al Aeropuerto, the Carretera al Aeropuerto, the Calzada Tecnológico, and the Boulevard Tijuana Zone Industrial. It's a 1-level, indoor, enclosed regional fashion mall with surface parking. So it had great access from every direction. It was close to the Otay border crossing. It was close to the international airport. It was close to the prestigious UABC, the Universidad Autónoma de Baja California. It was also close to what would become the CBX, or the Cross-Border Express. So what was there not to like here? How could it not do well? It originally had a Dorian's, which was the dominating department store in the time in Tijuana. It had a Sanborn's, it had a Doc's, it had a CompuStar, it had a Comercial Mexicana Hipermercado, which eventually would become a Soriana. There was originally a multi-cinemas threeplex in the project, which however did close. This was originally a Grupo Gutza project and a joint venture with Banamex. To the north, there's an open-air shopping center known as Central Comercial Otay Americana. Slightly to the northwest, there's a large Casa de Hipermercado. So clearly this area has some retail potential. The large and sprawling Ciudad Industrial was located to the east. However, Central Comercial Otay has always been a huge underperformer. The center has never done well since the day it opened. It's never been fully leased or fully occupied, and even after Sears replaced Dorian's, the situation did not change much. In theory, this should have been an outstanding performer, but a whole series of design and layout factors combined to seriously hinder sales performance here. This property in front of it was known as La Pechuga because Central Comercial Otay was set back from the corner of the intersection. And this is the property on which Alameda Otay has risen. The setback cost a lot of frontage, it cost a lot of visibility, it impacted identity. There was an extensive zone of reserve at one time, but this went back to the federal government in 1997 in compensation for non-payment of taxes by Gutza. And by the end of 1997, Gutza had lost control of the entire project and the shopping center itself had gone back to Banamex. The project was poorly designed. There was a focus on creating as many small locales as possible to the detriment of the overall tenant mix. This also hurt pedestrian circulation, sightlines, and the layout of the project. The project was always very poorly managed and operated. It was poorly maintained. Housekeeping was poor. It had a dark and gloomy interior which did not invite customers into the project. Signage was poor. Signage controls were weakly enforced. Leasing was very lethargic. There were a lot of vacant spaces that basically conveyed an image of emptiness. This gave the project a very negative reputation among consumers and drove away tenants as well. Large freight trucks and their trailers were allowed to park along the frontage roads, which made visibility even worse. Paid parking was instituted in 2002. This annoyed customers. The nearby residential density was low and not of high quality, and Otay Mesa remained unknown as a destination for shopping or dining. To the south, only about 4 kilometers away from the Alameda Otay site, there was a plan for a new project that today is known as Plaza Peninsula. This was anchored by Liverpool. It was a 3-level outdoor open-air mall with a lot of specialty stores, especially all of the Int'l fast fashion brands. So what to do? At this piece of property, it seemed fruitless to try to duplicate Plaza Peninsula, which was always going to be larger and have a more powerful tenant mix. And yet it was important to be different than the neighboring Plaza Central Comercial Otay Americana. We didn't want to do Mas de lo Mismo, which Tijuana was very famous for the better part of 30 years of retail development. The original idea by Loma Desarrollos was to develop a big box power center building off the existing City Club, which operated in tandem with the adjacent Soriana, which had divorced itself from the rest of Central Comercial Otay. This idea was eventually discarded in favor of a whole new approach, and this new approach focused on creating an experience rather than just creating a shopping center. The existing retail environment in Tijuana consisted of a lot of bland and generic and boring shopping centers, emblematic of this Mas de lo Mismo mindset in the development community. So first of all, rather than appealing to all of Tijuana, there was a decision to make this project focus on the residents and workers of Otay Mesa, which forms a sort of separate part of Tijuana from the Zona Rio and the other areas of Tijuana. And the project, secondly, would be food and beverage focused. It would be a place for many different dining experiences. Third, it would offer a lot of programming, not something that was generally to be found at other shopping experiences in the Tijuana market at that time. This would be a place for entertainment, a place for fitness, a place for visitors to stay. In the hotels, it would be a place for medical consultations and outpatient procedures. It would be a place to live. It would be a real town center. It would not just be one more shopping center. It would not just be a place for shopping, un lugar para compras. So, this project, as you can see, totally changed the trajectory of commercial development in Tijuana, along with Plaza Peninsula, its neighbor to the south. The two projects offer totally different experiences. They orient towards different customers. But they definitely ended the Mas de lo Mismo development philosophy of fast, easy, low-risk development. So take a close look at this drone video that we're providing to you here. There are a lot of details that are worth looking at. I'm not going to tell you each and every detail, but this is truly a town center. This is a place where people come to relax and enjoy and eat and meet and greet their friends. And you'll see that there are a lot of details here that contribute to creating a lifestyle-oriented town center.